Hello everybody, just doing a quick microphone check. Can you hear me? All right, No Mercy says yes, we can hear you. Grottle says yes. Chris, hi. Hi, Shuka. No Mercy says dang it. All right, so everyone can hear me. We'll wait just maybe a couple more seconds, not more than a minute, and then we'll get started. If you're just showing up, quick reminder to press the thumbs up button so that way anyone who would show up afterwards thinks that this is a poppin' happening place where everyone likes hanging out and seeing city skylines being done. You were paused. Raid Kitty was paused. All right, if you can't hear me, I can't tell you to unpause, but if you can hear me, maybe a trick you could do to make sure we're all synced up as best we can is hit playback speed 2 until it catches up. Sometimes if there's a few seconds delay, that'll bring you right up to the most current second you possibly can be at. And I'll wait maybe just another few more seconds to let everyone try to sync up, and then we'll get started. While I'm waiting, let me just say again, thank you for being here. Got the usual crowd, my favorite people. Happy to see you. What tribe number are we at, asks Raid Kitty. We are at, right now this is number 5, I believe. The Cursed Holy Mountain of Sacrifice at village number 5. So that's from the thumbnail that I did. I was working on. I want to say thanks to Joy, and Dean was there a little bit ago, and D-Dubs were helping me out with the thumbnail stuff earlier. Raid Kitty, you have not yet been impaled, but I don't know. We still got a lot of action going on in that way. A little bit of sacrifice bit there. All right, let's get started. I think we've got the crowd here that we're gonna get. More people come in. If anyone is new here, please say something in the live chat so I see your name. I can acknowledge you. And people in the live chat, make sure to welcome all the new people while I'm playing. Into Mordor. No, I'm not going to turn it into Mordor. This is not Lord of the Rings, but it's kind of close, I guess. There's some creepy stuff. Oh, Raid Kitty is posting that I'm live right now, and I think that might pop up in the live stream, maybe. We'll see. Maybe not. All right. So today's project is going to be to connect our many villages. For those who are brand new here, this is Oxucapografia. As you can see up here with my little Xuca chirper. Oxucapografia OXG for short. The history of the city of Xucaboa. It's been a while since I've opened up the save game because I was out at, really quite busy the last month. But we're ready to get back into it. And to do that, I'm going to start connecting all these villages so we can get ready to actually use the secret road over here that's full of horses. And people can start moving into the city eventually. So that's the plan. We do have a secret highway in the fog. The fog is our friend. I want that on so it hides kind of the stuff that I need to have in the game without showing it off. So very first thing we'll do, I believe we have a road connection here. But it's not actually connected to the highway. So let's just get our snapping off. Do something like this. I think that's just fine. Now we're actually connected to the road. But no one's going to drive this way yet because we don't have anything for them to drive to, and that'll be step 2 if we can get that far. Will we finally uncover the mysteries of the fog people? Perhaps. Perhaps. They live in the faraway edges of the known world. You can see them riding their little horses in the fog. But let's take a look at our existing road layout. All right, just by looking at the traffic, we could see how it's set up pretty quickly. Otherwise, it blends in a bit at first. If this is the first time you're seeing it, the roads might not be immediately obvious. But once you see them, it's clear. So in each of these Neolithic villages, we've got a number of industries. We've got cattle. We've got farming. So agro-pastoralism, either animals or pastures. With farming, we have some stone quarry action going on. It is the Stone Age, so we want to acknowledge that. And we have some megalithic monuments. Now, this is the creepiest one we have because it has a pit of human sacrifice next to it. None of the other villages have that. That happened in the last live stream. It's pretty dramatic. But in order to connect this village, which has the first connection, at least on this side of the map, to the outside world, we're going to have to go from here and create a bit of a path to the next village. So we'll take a look. And our next village, that's village 3, this is village 4. So we want to get over here, and let's take a look at the terrain real quick. And we'll see, imagine if Past the Fog was the modern day. Imagine, Raid Kitty, imagine if Past the Fog was like the Truman Show, this whole thing, and we were living here in the Stone Age, and everyone was watching us on YouTube as Stone Age people, and we have no idea what that would even be. That's what I imagine. So what we'll do is we'll take, we'll take a look at, oh, there's one of our bison there. Not a holy bison, just a regular one. We'll take our road, and with the terrain screen open, we'll start to just kind of follow the contours of the terrain as gently as we can to make it there. This road I'm using is a natural park road connected, so it actually looks like the nature park road. And what I've done is, just a reminder, I've changed the skin of it over in here. The texture, I put it just to dirt. So when we get off, it's removed that gravel, and it's actually just dirt. If it was default, it would be gravel. So let's start making our way. I'm going to try to avoid doing that unless we really, really need to. So here we can drop down a touch, and we'll just kind of follow the path of least resistance, or what seems like the path of least resistance to us. Grottle says, "Did it freeze?" I hope not. Are we good? Can everyone still see me? In the live chat, give a everything's good if everything's good, and give a what's happened if everything's gone wrong. Oh no. Is it working now, No Mercy, that you've reloaded the page? All right, so we had a little bit of buffering there. Is it working now for everybody? Okay, I got a thumbs up from No Mercy. Raid Kitty says it's working, so we're gonna continue. But if it's buffering again, let me know. I'll just take a hot second to let everyone catch up. YouTube doing YouTube things. Exactly, Chris. It's I don't know why sometimes. It's happened in a couple of videos lately that it just kind of buffered during premieres or live streams. Wherever there's a live chat box, it just kind of stops. So our next village is over here. We are going the right way. I think we're going to want to avoid going over any hills. Any more hills than we have to, because that would be extra work. We want to make this as easy for our walkers and animals to do as possible. So we'll just kind of follow this terrain over here. And this is a relatively flat area for this map in between these two villages. So after this, it's going to get more and more challenging to figure out this path of least resistance. But in doing this, we're really creating a nice organic road, not a big straight line that just goes from point A to point B. Really a lot more fun this way. And this technique is nothing that I came up with. Many builders do it, but where I really first saw it being done in a way that even inspired me to do this project was in Bon Bon B's Breaking the Grid series. Fantastic 6-part series. I think each video is about 20 to 30 minutes long. And he's doing a similar thing where he's starting with how do you get a city to look organic? And he's like, well, give it a little bit of history. We find resources and connect the dots after that. So he didn't follow through with it to the extent that I hope to do with this, but very similar ideas for how to start. Make sure to give Xuca the cat a big thumbs up. Not Xucaboa, just the cat. Yeah, don't ever give me a like on this page. Give the cat a like though. She's a good cat. Let's pop her up on screen actually real quick. I think we can do that. We'll put a baby Xuca in the corner, and that'll make everybody really happy. So now we have connected Village 5 to Village 4, and let's take a look at the road that did that. I'll turn it on this view just real quick so we can see. Maybe it's easier without. Turn this off. So yeah, it just kind of follows this this line here. I don't know which one will be the easiest for anyone to see on their screens, but this is the situation, and it's pretty cool. How it's just, it's a straight line, but it's a little bit wiggly, and for good reason, because there's bumps in the terrain. So when we're making these roads, it's gonna want to follow the most organic, natural path possible. All right, we'll go back to this. Now we have to connect to village number 3 is right over here, a little bit closer. We've got this mountain ridge. Or maybe not quite a full mountain ridge, but we've got this forested ridge right here in the way. So this is something we want to keep in mind too. Not only are we going to keep the terrain in consideration when we're putting the road, but we're going to look out for trees and forest. What's the quickest way to get through? It's not impossible to walk through a forest, but you don't want to get stuck in anything too dense. So let's turn on the terrain again. And we'll do our best. I think this is kind of a bit of a hill, but it prevents us from going all the way around. Or we could go all the way around. Yeah, you know what? Let's go all the way around. I think we'll try to get all the way around this forest here. Grab that. Just like this. There's a little bison. And we just put this road right in their way, so they can't cross the road now. Kind of sad. I see that Joy is giving a cat face with heart eyes. Thank you, Joy. I'm presuming that's for Xuca, baby Xuca the cat, who's been really, really funny this past week. She's growing up. She's still a young cat, but her personality is something else. And every day I feel like it's getting a little bit more refined. Sometimes a little bit hard to explain. I'm trying to think of a good example, but she's pretty, she's getting pretty funny for me. She's doing a lot of funny stuff. All right, we don't want to go right down there. That's kind of too steep. If I were to do this, way too steep. So we'll just gently work our way down a couple of meters at a time. Try to spread it out as much as we can. And we also don't want to get too close to the water here. Let's take a look. This is looking like this right now. I think that's all right. The forest is kind of in here. I see that I forgot to do amateur mistake. What is this? Amateur hour? I forgot to turn off the tree anarchy, so of course all the trees are popping through. But that's all right. That'll give us a good idea of where the trees are. in the forest, and we can kind of respect that a little better. No Mercy says, yeah, back before the Romans came, the roads were actually not perfectly straight. That is true. When the Romans came, though, the roads did get really, really straight for some time. It was I was reading about it, and it seems like more often than not they would go up steep inclines to maintain a straight road rather than go around and find a gentler grade. So those Roman roads were famously straight, although I don't think I have to presume they weren't perfectly straight. That would be a bit much. But this is pre-Roman times for sure. So we're just walking along. No paved roads. These are just paths that have been trodden by people and animals over hundreds, if not thousands of years. And this area is pretty easy because we're just going to follow the water. There's this floodplain right along the water. Makes it a nice area to go. But when we get over here, we've got a little bit interesting that the water's gathering there just a little bit. Might have to smooth that out a touch. We can't yet institute, like, I could try to rig up something where a ferry goes back and forth and connects people, but I think that would be too complicated. Every time I've tried, I've run into like a hiccup with some aspect of it. So rather than try to troubleshoot that, we're gonna make a bridge. And I don't know, No Mercy, you tell me if oh, Artivan is here. Welcome. I'm glad you're not asleep just yet. Artivan PB is in the house. Welcome. So homemade bagels, man. I'm missing some bagels right now. I could go. I'm in the mood. What was I saying? So we're gonna, and No Mercy, you can help me out with this because I know you're big into the details. But at this point, I don't know how accurate bridge making would be for this area. But we're gonna make some crude bridges just to solve the problem of how do we cross the river. Because if we don't solve that problem, we can't connect to any of these next villages. So I think, let's turn this off and we can look at what looks like the nicest crossing. It's actually a pretty narrow spot right here. Oh yeah, I think if we clear out some of these trees and bushes that I carefully planted here so long ago, we can put in a bridge. Joy Builds Cities says, ancient wildlife overpass, see animal near road, kill for dinner, take across road to home. I think that that sounds like a pretty efficient way to get some chow, to be honest. All right, just making sure I'm caught up on the chat. Perfect. What am I doing in traffic view? We could turn that off. And we'll get this as close as we can. Does it automatically span? Or do I have to use this stuff? I think I do. Which is fine. We'll just do a crude bridge. We'll smooth that out in a sec. It's funny that when I do this without being vanilla, it's harder. It's so easy for me to keep stuff straight in vanilla, and yet here I am being like, oh yeah, I got a node I gotta think about. So we'll grab these nodes and kind of slope them or straighten them out. So they're all straight. There we go. That's fine for me. This one we can turn into a ground segment. And then we'll just slide this node back a bit. Oh, no, I'm still grabbing all nodes. Undo. Just you. Oh my, I just wish everything was vanilla. It'd be so easy. Now I got some clipping under there. No bueno. We'll put a rock there. I'm not going to worry about that sort of stuff right now. Many people are a lot smoother with mods than me because I spend most of my time doing vanilla builds. but that's fine. We got our bridge. We are now connected to village number 3. Maybe we'll just make this a more logical curve to get here. Beautiful. And that's that. We got a bridge. You know what? It is going to drive me nuts, though. Let's see if we can just do that. I think that's a little bit better. Oh, yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. No Mercy says, I guess actual bridges were only built in the real posh places. Mostly they just use shallow fords to cross the water, but I guess in City Skylines we got to do what we got to do. There potentially were bridges as early as the Neolithic, but probably not many at all. Yeah, that was my impression as well. Like, bridge would not be the go-to solution for crossing a body of water, but we need to be able to get vehicles across the water pretty simply, and we'll just use some simple bridges for right now. And even though this looks like the Park Path Bridge, remember this is a road, so vehicles will be able to use it. This is based on the natural pedestrian path. It is a zonable road. Okay, so our network right now goes pretty straight along the water. It cuts off this peninsula to Village 4, but then it wraps around this point, goes around our Isla Isaura from the vanilla build, into Village 3. And No Mercy says, I know of some bridges that are just called the Bronze Age Bridge because there are no other bridges from that era in the area. Yeah, so these will be our Copper Age bridges. We're not even Bronze Age technically, but the Copper Age, there's not too much that's going to change architecturally. Maybe we'll put in a copper mine symbolically. There were copper mines in Portugal, although not too many in the immediate Lisbon vicinity, but that's okay. Let's get back to our terrain mode, and we'll just work on connecting over towards Village 1 and 2. You know what? Let's actually work our way from them to each other first, and then we'll kind of find out where the middle ground is. I think that'll make more sense. So here we've got Village number 1, our original site that was in a lot of the edited videos. Hey Tim, glad you could make it. Welcome. We're just doing some road work here. So we've got our road network that is in Village number 1, pretty good size for a village, and then we've got a smaller village over here, Village 2, which is nearby, but there is some terrain in between. So let's take a look. I do have a spur here that looks like it wants to follow the water, but then if we follow the water, we kind of run out of space. And again, we could just build a bridge to cross this, but let's not. I'm not going to follow this just yet. We'll make a road from over here. You know what? Maybe it's better if I use the contour lines with the grid. I don't know. No, I think it's easier to see without those. So we'll use the green stuff. Joy, yeah, this road is it's great. It's a pack. I forget the asset creator, but it is a network of two-way and one-way park path roads. Just the 4 park path roads. You've got amusement park, and university roads. You've got campus road, amusement park, nature park, and zoo park. So I guess campus is the city park, just that gray road. But they work as streets, and by default they come with a pretty slow speed, if I remember correctly. No Mercy, a clay pit could be an interesting idea. I will keep that in mind. Hey, Valley Lad, that is a pretty sweet wrench you got there, my dude. So I know you've been wanting one of those for some time. Got you hooked up. Okay, so we're going to try to connect over here. And to do that, we've got this little bit of a valley, not related to Valley Lad. Maybe we'll come right from the top of this hill, because this is by that megalithic monument site. We'll try to have roads from a couple directions go to that. That'll make sense for us. And because this is a road, you can see that it's not terrain conforming. It will pull the terrain up with it a little bit as you place it. Like if I do this, see how it brings a little bit of the terrain. So I'm pretty comfortable with doing that on the fly, but sometimes it doesn't do exactly what I want. So I will, you know, use move it or something if that happens. But let's work our way down into this area here. That seems like a pretty logical way to get up the road, right? If you were down here, you wouldn't want to walk up this big embankment. You just go around and follow this nice slope. So we'll do that. And let's see. Actually, over here is a pretty good spot too, although that's a bit steep. Like if we were to come going this way, following here, that could work. Or we could just go here, and I think since we're already in this way, we'll just try to cut the difference right here. It's just a little bit steep, so instead of going straight down, we'll go across, and that will give us a smoother grade. And we can just connect right in there. Now this one here is actually, looking at it, a little bit steep. And so I don't want to mess around with nodes too much because we're trying to do this as organically as we can, but maybe I'll just pop it down a little bit just to make it a tiny bit smoother. Not engineering it in any way, just doing that. Let me just check the chat. Tim wishes he had a wrench. Tim, it took Valley a long time to get a wrench. I can only give out a few per year, apparently. So I'll put you on the list for the next round of wrench giving. But it's not all fun and games having the wrench either. Remember, it's they got to moderate in case any crazy people come in here trying to destroy the channel. They can give them the boot. But you're kind of frustrated, slightly annoyed. Well, I hope it's not because of the wrench, man. I'm sorry to hear that, but don't worry, you don't need a wrench. You're part of the club here. You're in good hands. If everybody had a wrench, it would be kind of strange, I think. Valley, thank you, Valley, for that. Remember, chuck a like if you're enjoying. Yeah, that really does help me at this moment in time more than it ever has, because I'm so close to getting 500 subs, which would give me the community tab. So if you give a like, then people who are new to the channel will see and think that perhaps this is a channel that people like, and they'll be more inclined to watch it and more inclined to stick around, which will get all of us the community tab. Like, that's not just for me, that's for all of us. So, all right, here is our connection from Village 1 to Village 2. And we've got a little bit of a spur here that goes to the megalithic monument. Let's just take a look and see. Actually, I don't know if we really had to go all the way around for that. We could just cut across too. Why not? I think that was a little bit better. There we go. Because when you look at it, it's pretty flat. You don't need to go around this little tiny bump. You can just walk across. Chris knows the feeling. Tim, work sucks. Yeah, I've been there. I'm not there at the moment though. I don't want to gloat about it that I'm not working. It's not something I'm specifically wanting everyone to think about me. But if I'm not on a ship, I'm not working. So when I'm on a ship, if I have a bad day or a bad crew, I can't escape them. I don't have a home to go to. I don't have a weekend. I work 12 hours with the same people all day, every day, and I live with them. Oh, hey, Ak, welcome to the party. We have, all right, I think it's been 30 minutes since we started, so I'll take a quick overhead look just to see what we've done, which is we are carefully connecting our Neolithic villages, right? We're starting from village number 5, which has the cursed holy mountain of sacrifice, and connecting a roadway across the entire map that will link all of the villages together. And in doing so, that will prime us to have people actually start to move in. Because as you see, it's just a model village right now. We have 0 population living here. There's no activity. It's just all procedural objects and looking decorative. But we can see how the road is trying to follow the path of least resistance, either with terrain or with forests, right? We don't want to have a path go straight through a forest. At least not right off the bat, right? Would people have been able to clear some trees, especially at this point where they're using stuff made out of wood? Yeah, I'm sure they could have, but it's a little bit more interesting to do it where we have to go around the forests, at least at this stage. So yeah, we made our way over here. We did put in a bridge, which may be a bit anachronistic. Word of the day is anachronistic. But we're going to do it anyway because we want vehicles to be able to cross the thing, and putting in 2 ferry stops to just span this thing here is overly complicated. It never looks... I haven't been able to get it to look good. Maybe someone else could do better than me, but that's the best I got. So we connected to Village 3, and then we have moved over to Villages 1 and 2. And now from here, we are going to make our way to Village 3, because we've kind of got this middle ground. And I'm using the terrain tab rather than contour lines. I just think it's a little bit easier to see. But maybe in this area where there's less trees, we'll just do it like this for now. If anyone... Acronistic must be... Yeah, acronistic is the word of the day, Ac. That's for you. So... If this is fine for everyone with the faded contour lines on screen, I'll leave it like that. Or if you prefer the green terrain button, we can switch to that. Just leave a note in the live chat if you prefer one or the other. And I'll try to accommodate as best I can. Try to accommodate, as Ac might say. So here it's really, really quite bumpy, right? We've got it's a big open area, but it's full of like pocky pits and little bumpy hills. So this is going to be a lot of fun to try to cross with the roads. And as we go over some amount of the dips, it will fill them in, which is fine. I'm not too stressed about that, but we'll try to follow the path of least resistance. Not necessarily always trying to stay flat, though. You see how we're going up about 2 meters here. That's great. That's perfect. I like that. And again, the reason I'm choosing to do this as a live stream rather than an edited episode is that I think this process is really fun, but it would be a bit strange to watch as just a video. Like, you get how it works pretty quickly, and so... unless you're in love with this build, you're not going to sit there and watch the whole thing. You'll just skip right to the end. Whereas here, we can all be decision-making together and doing stuff together. I think it's a lot better. Acronistic sounds kind of like the name of a rapper or something. Yeah, I agree. I could see myself purchasing the next Acronistic album on Spotify or something. Artavan PDB says, behind those mountains is a village. Let's take a look again where all of the villages are. So we're now working from Village 1 and 2, going towards Village 3. Village 6 is down here by the coast, a little bit separated from everyone else, but in a really sweet location. I'll turn off the contour lines now. Got a nice stream and a big hill here. With a cromlech on top, no less. And then, yes, on the other side of this mountain, behind these mountains, is village number 7, which is just kind of tucked in this little bay. Really very limited opportunities for agriculture. You know, they can raise some sheep and goats because of the hilly terrain, and maybe have 1 or 2 small fields, but that's about all you can fit here. Otherwise, this is probably a fishing area, which is why we put in this little fishing pier. Acronistic, the first Portuguese Neolithic wrapper. It's canon now. I've read it online. I saw it in Wikipedia. It's always been that way. Acronistic. That's, you guys are fucking heckin' hysterical. Excuse me. So anyway, let's see. We've got village 7 here, and then the last village is village number 8, which is right here. Lot of open land for farming, but also by the sea, so we've got a little area for fishing. But it's a bit more separated from everything else. And there is a little bit of a mountain pass right here that perhaps we'll use to connect village 2 to village 8 and or village 7. I don't know what'll make the most sense. But let's finish where we were before we keep on. Yeah, Grottles, I know I slipped there. I'm sorry, it came out. I'll do my best in the future. I'm used to working on the ships. You know how it is. Okay, so we've got... We'll just keep following this terrain. I think over here is a little bit better. Because here looks like a bit of a lumpy, bumpy spot, and this is more of a path in the lumps. Go down. We'll follow this right down. Now, I did customize this map myself well over a year ago, but it's been a while. And even when I did customize it, like, I wasn't planning every bump. I just used the big lumpy brush and tried to make it textured. So I don't really. I'm discovering all this too. All right, this is new for me, as it is for you. Let's see. We want to get all the way. We've got a big forest here, so we don't want to go through that. We're gonna have to go around this fertile belt towards village 3. That'll be the trick. Do that. We'll just ever so slightly, like, we got a meter here, a meter there. That's perfect, right? There's no truly flat path in the world. Like, imagine if ancient peoples were so good that they, without any sort of surveying equipment, were able to create a perfectly level road from across an entire peninsula. I don't think that's realistic. Even if they could, why would they? So, all right, we've got a bit of a slope here. We're gonna try to ride just kind of in the middle of that. And then below it is this marshland, so we don't want to get too close into that. Here is a nice little bison again roaming around. Lots of bison still in the map. Makes me very happy. No, they don't, Joy. They don't say mouth of a sailor for nothing. But I've been ashore long enough. I should have some, you know, tiny sliver of self-control, I think. But every now and then it just pops out. So my apologies to anyone who doesn't like that sort of talk. Grottle says, I'll be back in a minute. I'll be here, just not here. And Chris says, Schrodinger's Grottles. Yes, that is the perfect example. Speaking of sailors and Schrodinger, or Schrodinger, depending on which language you speak and how you pronounce it, it's credited to Aristotle, although I don't know if it's confirmed, that he actually came up with a similar hypothesis, and that is there are 3 types of people. There are those that are alive, there are those that are dead, and there are those that are at sea. Because when you're at sea, you are the cat in the box. No one knows if you're alive or dead. So Whether or not Aristotle actually said that, I don't know. Maybe one of you can confirm the veracity of such a statement, but I've heard that before, and I thought it was pretty cool. So, okay, we've now connected to this village. I think since we have this little road here, why wouldn't we just extend it a bit? This will probably become another field, or maybe some housing over here in the future, but we'll leave it open for the moment. And this is kind of how the map is going to start to fill in, right? We're going to have logical places. Things that may or may not have seemed logical at first will now make sense. And oh, we do have this pretty cool valley right here between these hills, and if we were to follow it, it would also take us in here. Maybe we'll put in a second route to connect around this big hill with the megalith. If anyone has any objections, say so in the live chat. Otherwise, I'm just going to start doing it. We don't need a whole lot of roads, but I think having a few options will be helpful for our Chalcolithic traffic situation. Just a few more options for horses to take, right? Ooh, buddy. Try to go around that tree and it didn't work. Just chop it down. Okay, our road is over here. So I think we'll just try to go right over there. We'll try to cut that path. Going carefully around all of these bushes and trees to do that. There we go. I think that's pretty nice. Now, if you want to go from Village 1 to Village 3, you don't have to go all the way towards Village 2. You can just go straight across. Okay, all right. No Mercy says there's no wrong road so long as there's sense in walking it. Now, I was quoting Aristotle before, but I think I'm going to have to start quoting No Mercy. That is some profound philosophy. I really like it. That is Xucaboa approved philosophy for anyone who is interested in getting some profoundness in their life. Profundity. Oh, you know what? We've got to cross this river because it ends all the way up here in the mountain. There's no way we're going all the way across, from Village 2 to this mountain back down across the river. We're going to make a bridge here. This will be our second bridge. And maybe that's what this spur is for. Maybe that will make sense. Although this is a much wider river. Let's see if there's any places that are a little bit more logical. Like we could do it up here. ACK is pro-search and profound. I like it. I like it. If you subscribe to ACK, you will get the pro-search feature for his profound content. Let's extend this just a hair, and we'll do our best to get this into. Oh boy, now it's doing the thing that it always does. If only this were vanilla, it'd be so easy. But I'm gonna try just to do that. And of course it's way too long, but we can fix that in just a second. We've got our nodes in place. Now they're a bit too low. Pop them up just a touch. And actually, let's just Control H that. Perfect. Perfect. We got a little bit of a thing there, though. Maybe I can bend that out. There we go. I think that's good enough. Not, not super realistic. We've got a little bit of clipping here. I'm not too worried about that at the moment because I'm going to play around with the nodes and everything later. I just want to get this road layout in place. So let's get out of Move It. And our next village, we could start trying to connect Village 6, Village 7. Or I did that backward. Village 6, Village 7, and our bridge. So let's try to do that. Oh, Joy has to go, but Valley is back. So I think that's. I'm sad to see you go, Joy, but at least Valley is taking the baton from you, carrying it on. Thanks for popping in, Joy. Appreciate you being here. All right. All right. To connect Village 6, let's take a look at our green terrain. I do want to see. It's a little bit easier to get the true chunkiness of this land, right? This is some chunky terrain. This is lumpy. And so we want to go here. And we've got roads over here by this hill, but not too many otherwise. We could go around, following there, and then try to follow some stuff this way. Maybe even follow it. Look at how there's like this ridge or this depression right here. I don't know if that's so easy to see, but I'm kind of seeing like a crescent-shaped depression in the terrain right here. That might be kind of nice to follow from these points this way. Axe says there are not enough likes under this stream. Let's like. Yeah, thank you, Ack. Everybody, I really do appreciate it if you leave a like. At this point in the channel growth, every single thumb is a huge thing for just making sure we get to that 500 subscriber mark where we can use those community features, you know, and I can do some polls, or I could just tell you if I'm like on a boat. I could post a picture. I'm like, hey, I'm on a boat, and I don't have to publish a video about it. Because a lot of times in the future there will be periods where I'm absent, and that's because I'll be on a boat because I work in ships. I am a merchant mariner. So back to this. I think for our first road, let's follow that depression. There's something about it. I really like it. Ack says boats are not real. It's all a hoax. And I'm gonna say to Ack, you better watch out talking like that, because the people who are creating that hoax are watching. So just watch your back, man. We don't talk about that sort of stuff here. Okay. So right now I'm not actually in the depression because it looks like really a big pit there. So I'm creating this ridge. Do I want to do that? I don't know. I think I want to back it up a touch. Nobody would walk that much like on the edge of something if they didn't have to. They're going to try to get to somewhere a little bit better. Ardavan asks, you have information about the old cities of the world? Yeah, I mean, I've been doing a lot of research, quote unquote research. I'm not a professional researcher by any means, but I enjoy reading and studying as a hobby about history and urban development of cities around the world. So I'm using, with this city, it's based on Lisbon, Portugal. This is a fictional map, of course. This is not a real place in the world. But I tried to make it similar to Lisbon, and we're going to try to mimic the historic development of Lisbon, you know, when it makes sense. And then sometimes we'll have a little fun and deviate from that. Valley says, bet Ack is like build a lake. Oh, yeah. You know what? Actually, if I were designing this map, this would be a pretty awesome spot for a lake. Like, look at this depression right here. This is lake material. So much so that if y'all want, I'll just put a lake in here right now. We'll make it a lake. Do we say put a lake? If you want a lake in the comments, in the live chat, say so and I will do it. Hey, Sack of Spuds. Glad you could make it. Just putting in some roads around a lot of mountainous terrain. Chris says lake. Ack Original says lake. Okay. Now it makes sense that we're going to follow this ridge because there's going to be a lake right here. And look at that. It sure would be a nice view for the road. I agree. No mercy. Let's just clear out these trees the old-fashioned way with the bulldoze tool. No, use move it. Come on. We'll do this. Deleted. do this, deleted, and we'll see, without playing with any of the terrain, we'll just see how well this sits in here. Let's see what that looks like. I'll turn the game speed up to 3 so it pops right in. And we'll see. Did we factor this in right, or is there going to be some kind of river that's going to pop in? Ooh, I got to be careful moving. I'm on 3 speed. Okay, I think that's filled in pretty nicely. Turn the speed back down to 1 and put the game speed on half using the Play It mod. And now we've got ourselves a wee little lake. This was a great idea. Ack and company, everyone here who's all about lakes. If you haven't seen, Ack has just recently done an excellent tutorial video on making a lake in your city. So if you are interested in making a lake, that looks nice and natural, I couldn't recommend that video more. It's a great tutorial video, and we will certainly be implementing some of the strategies from his video in this. I just want to kind of smooth out this little piece here for my own satisfaction. There we go. We got a lake. I don't think we're going to name this yet. Valley says, sorry, my lunch break is over. Xuca, if you're going to attempt a 9-hour live again, then I can't wait to join after my shift. But if not, excellent live as always. Oh, and New Build Cities is here. Awesome. Okay, Valley, I will try to see you. I'll try to keep going as long as I can. I don't want to get off topic with this video, so we'll just kind of focus to the roads, but maybe we'll detail this lake now. That's an extra project. This new lake, which justifies our road kind of hugging this mountain here. So let's get back to our road. Go into the terrain tool. We've got a lake here. Oh, what a nice touch. I absolutely was not thinking about putting in a lake. No Mercy says that mini peninsula on the lake would have totally been a spot of worship because there's a road already there, but it's gone now though. Yeah, I just nerfed that, didn't I? It's still right here. Let's put a megalithic structure here. Grab this one. Brush size 1, please. Thank you. Pop a megalith on that lake. That's extremely tall. Let's make it just a bit chunkier. There we go. Those regular megaliths, like I said in my one video, I think they are too tall on average. Like sometimes I want a tall one, but most of them are just always, if that's all you have, it's just kind of strange that there would be that many perfectly tall stones. But there are examples in real life of megalithic areas that have huge tall stones. So we'll do this. Axe says, I'm popping the mic every now and then. Okay, I'll try to be a little bit more careful with the settings. Let me go into OBS and see if I can drop that just a touch. How is this? This is my loudest voice. This is as loud as I will get. Is that popping? If it's popping, let me know and I'll play around with it or just talk a little bit quieter. Oh yeah, the Discord bleep bloops. Well, I'm not going to turn that off now. You'll just have to get used to that. I need to play around with my Discord settings, and I don't want to stop the stream to do that. But if the mic is good, then I'm happy, and if not, then I'll just try to talk a little bit quieter. So where was I? We've got our lake. Let me make sure I'm not missing any comments before we continue. Thank you, Valley, for the reminder. Everyone like and subscribe if you haven't. Not a requirement, of course, to watch any of this. If you don't like it, please don't leave a thumbs down, though. I think that's just mean. Just stop watching. Like, go watch something you do like. All right, back to following this depression. We will do this. Let's go into this little area. And we're going to wrap right around here, just like that, because that's how that depression kind of just happens to be. It's almost a pretty perfect crescent shape. Oh, Axe says I wasn't peaking, but popping. Oh boy, all kinds of terms. I'll turn my mic up a touch then, and then we'll see. Okay. This is just so everyone knows, this is only the third time in my entire life that I've gone live. Still a lot of things that I'm, working out the kinks to. But if you notice anything that could improve, please let me know, because I want to make sure that this is a good quality experience for everyone. Noob says, Mike sounds good. Thank you. Discord does have a streamer mode, and no mercy, in Captain Obvious's server, you will see me. Sometimes I decide to stream in there. So maybe sometime you can catch me there. That's when I'm just playing around, when I'm not doing like content. Like this is content. I'm building my city that is part of my project that I want the world to see. But if I'm just playing around with stuff or hanging out with friends, in Captain Obvious's Discord is a good one, or any of the other Discords where anyone might find me. From time to time, I'll do that. So in that regard, I have gone live before, because I have definitely been using Discord for streaming. Let's take a look at, okay, that I wasn't sure if that was really in the water or not. Look at the difference. It shows the water level is up here, but the water level is actually quite a bit lower. So that's good to know. Floodplain stuff. Discord streamer mode is a setting that disables all the beep boops. Oh, that's what you mean. I see. Oh, I don't even know what I'm talking. Don't pay no attention to me. I'm just talking nonsense. I know what you're talking about. In the settings. All right. We have connected village number 6 to our bridge by going around this lake and through this depression that was shaped kind of like a crescent. We just followed the terrain as best we could and have connected to this somewhat anachronistic bridge. Now, is that the way we want to get to village number 7, is to stay along this river, just have one road that goes from here all the way to here? Or do we want to go across this field like in a more direct route like this? What does everyone think of that? Yes or no? Everyone, that beep boop you just heard was Raid Kitty. All right, I got a ping from her. She's sorry. Oh, Noob almost burnt the hot dog buns on the grill. Well, I'm glad you didn't burn the hot dog buns. Please, everyone, pay attention to your cooking if you are cooking while watching me, because I know this can be very distracting. Anachronistic was the first one to challenge Acronistic to a rap battle. Now Ack is beat booping me. Ay caramba, and he couldn't resist. Discord is a hell of a thing, everyone. All right, Chris says, when in doubt, go through the mines of Moria. So without... Oh, now Grottles is doing it. Come on, everyone. Y'all are very funny. It doesn't bother me to beat boops. It might bother you, though. So everyone knows all the beep boops are coming from the people in the live chat right now as we're talking. I think we're going to go across this field because Chris said Mines of Moria, and I did take a quick look before the stream started at potential places for mines. And over here was a potential spot, so maybe if we put a road this way, that'll give us better access to a mine. This is now the Copper Age, the Chalcolithic. And that means that we will have access to copper. We are not yet in the Bronze Age. We are not mixing that with tin to create an alloy that is stronger than copper. known as bronze, but we are using copper over the next several thousand years. That's going to become more and more used. Stone tools, though, are definitely still the primary type of tools. Basic stone, wood, materials. That is the primary means of making stuff, even into the Bronze Age. But because bronze is expensive, it's hard to get. Not everyone's gonna have that. So I think we'll start working our way up ever so slightly. Maybe follow. We want to get to this mountain pass. So we'll follow right up into this like gradient. Let me turn this off real quick. We'll follow like into here and go this way. We won't go too much higher than this dark line. And then we'll figure it out when we get a little further. Copper Age, time to run electrical wiring. That's right. And actually, it in a way we are doing that because I have the electric roads mod turned on by Clyte45. So if we take a quick look in the unified UI, I've got the electric roads mod. So every road we're laying is actually connecting electricity. Once we put in an electric power plant of some kind, it will connect just like power lines would. Which is good because I don't want to be running power lines across huge distances at this early stage. That's why that's going to be really handy for us. All right, we are just going to, I don't know if we want to go into that pit too much. It gets a little bit deep there. We'll try to stay out of the pit. And now we're getting a little bit close. I think if we go this way and then wrap around like that instead of going up this hill, because this is a pretty big hill right here. If you didn't have to go up that, you might choose not to. I mean, as a person on foot, it's a lot easier to do that sort of thing. But if you're carrying, you know, if you're moving animals and carts and other stuff, then you won't want to go take a quick detour up a steep hill. You'll try to keep it as flat as you can so the wheels on the wagon don't break and so that the animals don't get overly exhausted. Okay, so we've got this. Yeah, this I like this road so far. We're gonna go through this mountain pass here. Would this be a valley if it's just kind of cutting across the mountain? I think not. I think this is just a pass. And the same with this one. I don't know how many like true valleys we have over here. Maybe these. Any geographers or geologists in the live chat want to clarify that, please do so right now. I would like to know. Are these valleys? Are they passes? Do they have some other name? I'm not so sure. But we'll make our way right up through the middle of there. Like imagine you're walking on your horse, going for a trot, and you see this nice opening in the mountain. You're like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go that way. Okay, so now we're gonna get close to connecting to Village 7, and this is a pretty lumpy spot. Let's take a look. A lot of trees. A lot of trees. A lot of bumps. So let's see. I don't know. This is going to be kind of trap. I don't know if I want to go like all the way out to the coast. This might be a place where we try to make our way through the forest. It's not ideal, but there's no better alternative except maybe right along the shore. But even this is very lumpy. Very, very lumpy. So let's do our best here. I'll leave the green off so we can see. And we'll try to follow these little terrain contours that are a little bit hard to see when the trees are there. But we'll do our best to just kind of make our way through the forest. let's see. No, I don't think we want to do that. I think we'll go this way. Hey, it's Roman. Roman. Comment ça va, mon ami? Ce n'est pas la ville vanille maintenant, mais j'ai écrit pour toi un commentaire dans Facebook pour une... si tu as Discord, je peux faire une partage d'écran pour toi pour voir le Isla Isaura que j'ai fait. That was sorry everyone. That was pretty rough French. My weakest language that I can claim to speak by far. But Roman, for those who don't know, has a console, an Xbox replica of my 100% Vanilla City. And this last episode with Isla Isaura was particularly challenging. Really quite difficult. For me, you know, as a vanilla builder, it was a very challenging project. And it took a lot of time. So, and I didn't show every detail. So I just told Roman that he could, you know, if we ever do get him on Discord, I can share my screen to show him any of the details so that he can replicate the Vanilla City a little bit better. That's what I meant to say, Roman, in French, if that didn't come out right. All right, here, crossing this is going to be really tricky. This is a serious rough area. And so this might be one of those real bridges. Like, here is a pretty easy place to cross. I think, like, if you were looking for a place in this stream coming from the mountain, you might do this. All right, Roman, I see your message. Yeah, we'll make something work out. Don't worry. Okay, let's get back to the road. We'll try to get over here by this megalith. That'll be a good marker for where we kind of want to cross, right underneath that. And we're close. So if I do this, go up, put it on bridge mode. Just a discrete little bridge. And then we'll put that on ground mode. And now that's a bit too steep. That didn't happen exactly the way I had hoped, but we can just tweak that real fast. Grab nodes, pop that sucker down just a hair. You know what, let's grab segments too. Smooth that out a touch, and then we will hit Shift Select to grab each of these nodes, and hit Control H and choose the one we want to match the height. So I think this one is looking pretty good. Now they all drop down, so now it's pretty flat. Our megalith has gotten a little bit wonky right now, though, by being there. So we can move this just back kind of where it was. These are terrain conforming, so when you move them on terrain, they will change their whole behavior. And that's also why when I increase or decrease the size of them, it behaves a bit strangely by using the comma and the period button as the default hotkeys. Let me just check the chat real quick. Noob says, you made it look easy, barely an inconvenience to build that elevated area on console. Perfect. All right, that's good. Noob, also a very talented console builder, has a good channel if anyone hasn't seen it. Both Noob and Roman and I are in the Cities Skylines vanilla Facebook group, and that's how we all kind of know each other. No Mercy says, oh yeah, megalith overlooking a nice ford. That is a great spot. They would be going insane over that place. Yeah, I agree. Roman says, do I have graphics mods here? Yeah, I've got, so that's a good question, especially for my vanilla audience who's not used to seeing Roslyn Peninsula modified by me. I'll take a hot second before we connect village number 8 just to explain a few of the mods that I have in place. So if we go to my options, you can see the mods I'm using. I have 70 mods running right now, not all of which would be on this list, which is also inconveniently not in alphabetical order. But as for graphics, I'm going to say one of the major ones I'm using is this mod called Render It, which gives me a number of graphic settings that I can play around with and do stuff. Another one is the theme mixer here. That's how I created this custom texture and theme, like the colors and the style of the stone and everything like that. Like I made that from scratch. Or I shouldn't say from scratch. I used many other people's themes and tweaked them and blended them in my own unique way to get this look. So that's another type of graphics mod. I think is what you would consider a graphics mod. It doesn't really affect the graphics capability of the game. It just changes the way it looks. Whereas Render It will play with the actual, a lot of that technical stuff with sampling and things like that. Otherwise, I mean, I have a whole lot of mods, to be honest, that might be a little bit tricky to explain every one of them right now. But that's the idea. This is a heavily modded city. Thank you, noob. The map looks tight. Yeah, I made this. I customized this Roslyn Peninsula over a year ago, before I even started this YouTube channel. I was hoping to do this as my channel, and then I joined Cities Skylines Vanilla, and I met Isaura, and she convinced me to do Vanilla as well when I started my channel, and I just fell in love with doing that, so I've been doing that since. But if you are familiar with Roslyn Peninsula or my videos, this is the island that was just in the last one, the Isla Isaura. Pretty similar to how it is in the game. I've only just lightly played with the bumpiness of it, but these I added for sure. This whole area I played around with to make kind of a floodplain estuary. Tim, welcome back. Glad you had a good break there. Speaking of break, I'm just going to take one sip of water. No mercy, I brought the water with me this time so I don't get dehydrated. All right, so we're going to continue building. I think from Village 2, we have an opportunity to go through this pass. And like from Village 7, we could wrap around this mountain, but whether or not that's, I mean, well, I guess we'll give it a try. I'm sure people would have tried to walk this way to Village 7 instead of going all the way through this pass from Village 8 and then back around through this path. Like, that's quite a ways out of the way when you could just walk along the beach. Nice sandy beach along this shore here. So I think, did we want to do anything else over here? Let's take a look at the roads. When you zoom out, like, no matter what I got, it's very hard to see the roads. So I think we could make one connection from this bridge to this right here. That's kind of a huge gap in network. So we'll try to do that first, and then we'll move on to connecting the rest. So let's see. There's a lot of trees. We could follow this shoreline here. Let's turn on the terrain button. We're just going to plow through these trees. Maybe by going this way. Here's a kind of nice spot to break off from. If we just go up this way, and you can see I'm following the terrain, drops back down a bit, which is fine because hills are a thing that exist in real life. Can't have an engineered, surveyed, flat level road, but we'll try to keep it as smooth as possible for the animals that are going to be traversing it with the people and their cargoes. No, you know what? Instead of going that way, let us go this way. Follow right in this divot, and then squeeze out over here. That makes more sense than going all the way around here. We could just bulldoze that. And now we just got to make our way down this slope to our bridge. So do we... Maybe we'll follow up here for just a bit. I don't always want to be like walking on the edge of hills. That's kind of unnecessary. But we're going to have to do it just a little bit to make our way down. Like that. I think that's pretty decent. Right? What does everyone say? Noob has to go eat dinner. Glad you can make it, man. I know you've been trying for a while and we never seem to line up right, so I'm glad you were here. And I really loved the last episode you did too, using campus assets and unique buildings. It was really nice. Nice work, as always. Okay, so like yeah, this is like a little bit of a ridge that we made. This wasn't here per se, but I think we'll leave it. That's fine. And the rest of this looks pretty logical. I like to go back and double check the work. And now we've got the road connecting here, here. I know these are fine lines that might not show well on everyone's screens, but they're looking all right. Now we can connect Village 2 to Village 8, because there's definitely no way to get over this mountain without doing a real switchback, but I think we might even try that. I don't know if it's necessary, but we'll see. The thumbnail of this video did say, can building roads and mountains look real? So what do you all think? Am I making, are they real? Do they look like my motivations for building these roads are real? Does it make sense? Could I be doing something differently or better? It's not a revolutionary concept what I'm doing here. I'm certainly not the first builder to take this approach, but I think for the development of our city, especially at this age, this is the approach to take. And so we'll make our way right up into here. It's pretty flat. Just going up into the greens now. So this is 100 meters above sea level. Is this, now it's green, and then this next color, every one of these changes in green is 100 meters. It's 10, each of the dark lines is 10 meters. So most of this is under 100 meters. There's a little bit of a bump by this cromlech over here, and then now we are entering a little bit of a, it's still somewhat flat, but it's higher up by a lot. No mercy. They are looking really awesome so far, I'd say, and Chris agrees. Well, thank you both very much. I do appreciate it. So I think if you're saying it, then I know I'm on the right track, because y'all have good opinions. I value your opinions. But to get into this pass, it is steep. We are getting like way high, so this is not going to be a straight up. This is going to be a lot of switchbacking just to get through this pass. We'll do our best to make that happen the best way possible. Maybe, does it look, is it easier to do this way? Oh yeah, I think we'll do it like this. Yeah, it's going to be steep in some spots, but that's just the nature of the pass. Try to avoid trees if possible. The way I have my tree anarchy mod set up right now, tree anarchy is off, so the trees will disappear when I place a road over them, but I have in the settings, which is important, especially for someone like me who plants a bazillion trees, when you delete it, the trees are deleted. I am not just covering them up. By default, this will not delete trees. It will just cover them up, and so they will remain, they will add to your tree count, they will take some system resources from you. But I have that turned off where it will delete them if I build a road over them. Oh yeah, this is a pretty challenging spot, but I think if we just snake our way this away. No Mercy says, also considering early in the Chalcolithic, the wheel would be, if anything, a novelty. Most of those paths would still be footpaths technically, so having paths be a bit steep would be expected, I'd say. B. Oh, I caramba. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. If you don't know, there is a group of builders with whom I associate with regularly that are doing a very fun project called the Building Buddies Building Beautifully, the BBBB, where they each try to build more beautifully than the next with hilarious and unexpected results. So check out that channel, that playlist, I should say. It's started by Dean Webb, and it has the likes of Raid Kitty, Snapdragon Cities, Ack Original, Grottles, and Larry Skylines, and who else? Who else am I missing? It's got, there's a bunch of people in it. I'm not available enough at the moment to participate, but it looked like it would be a lot of fun. So I'm sorry to say, at least right now, you won't see Xucaboa in the BBB. Hey, Larry, that is you. That's who I'm talking about. Now, I might say, who the hell is Larry, because that's become a bit of a catchphrase, but I'm not gonna. At this point, I think I know who he is. I've figured it out. But I'll never forget that time Larry made a review video of my season finale from September, I believe it was, of last year. And I had never heard of Larry before that, and someone told me that Larry made a video about my video, and I was like, who the hell is Larry? I really had no idea. And now I said it in my video, and it's become a really fun gag. But Larry, I know who you are now. It's been enough time has passed. I acknowledge you. I know who you are. No Mercy did not mean to to do the BBBB pun, but I don't know, No Mercy. You did it, so we gotta live with that. I think we're getting at a real steep spot here. This is a little bit tricky. We're switchbacking back and forth, but is it the right option? Like, it can be, like we said, it can be a little bit steep because they're footpaths, but we don't want it to be outrageous. Just making our way right down here. Look at this squiggly thing. I wasn't even trying to make it so squiggly, but that's just the nature of switchbacks. They just happen to squiggle. I got everyone checking their Discord. To be honest though, Larry, everyone who's checking their Discord are the ones that are typing in Discord. That last one was Raid Kitty, saying she's at work. So it's not me that's got everyone checking. It's everyone else. Ooh, that does make sense. That goes up and then back down. By doing this, that's a nice curve right there. We are getting close, but still quite a ways down. Let's take a look at the at this. We're almost out of the green. This is like 100 meters. Over 100 meters from the top to bottom. Really a very steep, winding road. But now instead of going this way, it gets pretty steep. It kind of smooths out over here. I think we'll follow this. There we go. That looks kind of nice. We got a little bit of a ledge that we made by putting in this road, but you know, we're in the mountains. You're going to get that sort of thing. A little bit of a goat path, we might call it. Larry, I know you hear the message sounds. I need to turn those off, but for right now they're on, and I'm just saying that everyone who's doing the messages are in the live chat here anyway, so it's not Turn them off, says Larry. Yeah, okay. All right. 1 second. Everyone's getting annoyed by the beeps. Let me see if I can turn them off real fast. Don't leave me. I'm still here. User settings, streamer mode. Enable streamer mode. Done. All right. I hope that was it. Someone get. Let me know if you're still hearing pings. As we work our way down this slope. Larry says, yep. Disable sounds. How about that? How about now, Larry? Tim says, yep. Oh, but I don't hear any pings now. Yeah, Chris, that's everyone in the live chat just pinging the hell out of me, getting mad. But I think I did it. I think I turned them off now. Larry can't hear me. What? Can you hear me? Ay, caramba. How about now? Okay, okay. Nice one, Larry. I fell right for that. Oh, boy. Oh, goodness. Oh, man. Okay, everyone. I hope we haven't scared away anyone who's never been here before by pinging them to death. That was my fault. I should have turned it off. But look at this. We made it with a pretty straight road right from here. I know there's a forest, but we're not in it. We're on the outskirts of the forest, so that worked out perfectly. And there we go. We are connected to village number 8. No Mercy says, that guy's just trolling. Yeah, he sure is. But I fell right for it too, so shame on me. Okay, let's go here. Let's take a look. Maybe we'll build our bridge first so I don't have to do the funny screen shifting. Hold on. Turn that off. We'll go into bridge mode. And I want a shallow, easy to cross spot. We don't have a whole lot of them. Maybe if I go right here. No pillar in the middle? Ay, caramba. That's fine. We'll just pop this down now, like that. Pop this over here like that. And we will start to play with our nodes and segments as we see fit. It's so wide, though. Like, definitely no bridges are going to be like this. Maybe that's a little bit better. Okay. So we've got an ugly little bridge here. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's way too long. It's unsupported. But I'm not going to deal with that just yet. That's some detail work. The bridge is there. It will function. And we should connect to the highway over here. There is the horse highway secretly hiding in this side of the map. All right. Let's go. Let's do it. This area is pretty flat. We're just going to follow a little bit of these contours. And then work our way up this spot here. That looks pretty good, right? I think so. Yeah, that's natural looking. No mercy. That bridge has a lot of character. Yeah, it does. I'll deal with that. I just don't want to spend too much time on the little details just yet, because as you all know, I am not afraid to spend way too much time on the details. So I will engineer the hell out of that bridge, so that way when Jake gets here, he has no smart comments for me about his engineer skills. He'll say that makes sense, and I'll say I know it does, because I engineered it. All right, we're just going to follow this contour a bit and make our way into the edge of the known world. There, we're connected. That's good enough for now, for sure. We'll do a quick look at it. Nothing looks a little bit too wonky, I don't think. A little bit of a bump here. That's all right. And No Mercy says, I know that at this point they're not afraid to spend all the time in the streams. That's true. So how long have we been going right now, by the way? Can someone give me a time check? How long have I been online? It was daylight out when I started, and now it is dark. So my eyes... Probably should turn on a light so my eyes can adjust. An hour 30. All right, that's not too bad. Oh, them's rookie numbers. Rookie numbers. Okay. Yeah, Larry and Ack are talking right now, but you can't hear them with the pings talking about how they're trolls, because I turned that off. But I can still see it, and nobody else can. So just keep that in mind, gentlemen. I'm watching. Is there any other place we want to add road connectivity while we're looking around? Anywhere at all? Well, it's kind of hard to see the roads like this. Maybe it's easier this way. I think we got pretty good connections most of the places. Maybe, you know what, if someone wanted to get from Village 3 to this pass, what's the way they would go? They'd have to go through the forest. That might not be desirable, but they're already going through the forest. Anyway, this is... Wow, actually, I plowed right through that forest. I don't think I was looking at it too well. Maybe I would have chosen to go a little bit here where it's not as thick. Shucks. We won't make that mistake twice. Let's get into the woods and do it right. Make our way right up here. All the trolls are trolling the Discord. I see it all. I see it all while I'm doing this. That's how good I am. With friends like this. No, I'm joking. Everyone's good. Everyone is good. Let's turn our contour lines back on, though. Pretty flat here. Actually, really quite flat. This would be easy to make a path through the forest. It's not so dense. There's a lot of openings. We'll just try to not knock down trees for variety's sake. I have a question for the live chat too. Have we seen any new names that I might have missed while I was playing? I don't recall any recently. If you're watching this and you haven't said something in the live chat, please just say your name right now so I can acknowledge you and know that you're here and say hi. But I think it's mostly just the usual crowd, which is perfectly fine, if not better, just because of the way I do stuff here. It's an acquired taste. There we go. We've now connected this road through the forest. Grottle says no newbies. No Mercy says no U names yet, I think. The U tree. Let's real quick acknowledge one of the great vanilla trees. This U, number 1. U, number 1. Beautiful tree. Spinning around. It's like dancing. Magnificent. Magnificent tree. I don't think we're going to place it here. You know what? Let's just leave it. There's a yew tree in the middle of the field. Where is yew number 2? Good question. I don't know. I forgot that that was even called yew 1. I don't know if there's a yew 2. Maybe it's this? No, that's a Corsican pine. Although it does look very similar. No, not really. Not similar enough. Chris, good night. Get some sleep. I appreciate you being here, my friend. Take it easy. Have a good one. Just so everyone knows, Chris got a police station in Isla Saura in the Vanilla Sleep. So if you look near the city hall named for Bruno, you will see Chris's police station. All right, so we got. I don't think there is a U number 2, Larry. I think it's just the 1. No Mercy says it's partially floating. I concur. There is a tiny element of flotation. So let's. Ooh, there is a bison walking right next to it, though. Put it right there. There we go. What a majestic scene. Quick, somebody, take a screenshot of this. You don't see this every day. A bison and a yew tree. I'm joking about that. Let's, what else do we want to do? So we put in the roads. I don't want this stream to go for 9 hours. But we did put in this lake early on, and while we have Ack in the house, as well as everyone else, what a perfect time to detail a lake, just to kind of end this project here today. I will go to, you know what, let's go to here. We'll go to filler. This is my filler vegetation. I have 25 plants in here. Most of them are by P. Delmo or PD Elmo. I'm never sure if it's P. Delmo and PD Elmo. But they are just fantastic because they're low tries, right? I love the Mr. Mason trees. I've got some of his, including the small grass cluster, which is now vanilla. But I had made this map when it was not vanilla. But the ones by P. Delmo are he's got a great collection of low triangle stuff, so it really takes very little resources. You can see when I planted this bush, it's just like a bunch of sheets of leaf. Not too many different planes going on here. But when you look at it from even a tiny distance away, it looks like a great bush. It does the job. So for filler stuff, it's couldn't get better. And this grass is like 90 tries. Does the same thing. Larry says, if we had a U2, then we would need Bono, not a bison. That's a good one, Larry. I like that. I like that a lot. U2. But yeah, look at this. It's the same idea. You've got these planes with you know, transparency in between. These are, if there were no transparency, these would just be like green slices all through here, but with the transparency, you can just see right through, and it's still doing the same thing. It's like one sheet with a transparent color. It does do that sometimes, so you got to be careful when it's on the edge. But let's just slap a few filler things down. Whoops, and have fun doing that. I think if we go here, we don't want to make it like super foresty, but there's more of a forest on this side than on this side, so we'll try to keep that going down to the water line. Just mix it up with one of each of these low poly trees. Great assets. Do we have any flotation going on? No, I think we're good. You know what? Let's throw in a U. No, we'll do a small tree cluster. These are great filler assets. Just kind of give a little bit of texture to the in-between areas. Maybe some filler bushes. We've got the large, medium, and small. So this is the size of the large, quite big. And the small is a reasonable size. So we'll plop down some smalls. Don't want to overdo it, but we're just going to continue to spread this area out. Now we can put these shrub cluster. I've got the dark green, got the light green. And the light green is always a little bit bigger, which is just fine by me. But I like to put the filler grass down first. And I've got two varieties here. One of them has like a little red streak, like an extra leafy thing in there, which makes it look a little more wild. So we'll do some of that. Plop these around a bit. Not a super hard thing. I could use forest brush for this sort of activity, but I really like to plant each one individually, so this way I know that I'm being as efficient as possible with the big trees in the back and the little ones in the front and things like that. So we'll pop a couple of these down. Some more over here. We'll try to step them up. So you've got that flat underneath, but then it kind of stands on top of the next one, so it doesn't look too bad. Ooh, no mercy. What do you think about this as a site for a megalith? This little bump here, or maybe something else. You tell me, because we already put one down there, but just by itself. What about one that overlooks the whole lake? Oh, Ryan is here. Ryan, hello. Welcome. I know you from other live chats, but I think this is the first time I've seen you in mine, so I'm glad you made it. Let us just quick zoom out for you, Ryan, since you're just showing up. This is my historic city map, Oxucapografia OXG for short, and I'm just doing a historic city build starting from the Stone Age and working our way to the future. So we're still just exiting the Stone Age now, and to do that we're connecting the roads of our villages that we have scattered across the map. We've got 8 villages. So we've now connected roads across this very, very rough terrain to get all the villages connected in some way or another. And using very, very organic lines, the path of least resistance, the thing that'll be the easiest for people to walk, more or less, and to get to where they've got to go as efficiently as possible, without going straight up a mountain. Because if you ever tried walking up the tall side of a mountain, it's hard. It's easier to go around the side. Ryan was always waiting for a series going through time. My friend, I hope you buckle your seatbelt, man, because that is the whole premise of this. We are going to go all the way into the Space Age, starting from the Stone Age. This is our very first village here. And I've got some edited videos. Most of the beginning of this series has a lot of history facts about why we're building what we're building, and showing the techniques in a very quick and concise way. They're pretty short videos. And then now I'm starting to do a couple lives to do some of the longer, slower projects, like putting in the roads. You don't need to know the history of why there would be roads connecting villages. It's just because people need to get from this village to that village. No need for an explanation on that. But we've got lots. Every village has a lot of character, a lot of different scenes we're looking at right now. They are in the Neolithic, so they've begun agro-pastoralism. They'll have some animals and farm fields and things like that. And it's only going to get more and more advanced and complex as we advance through time. Still pretty very, very early in the series. So right now we were just doing a quick detail session on this lake because we had put it in. It was a request. Ack Original, who is in the house, just did a tutorial on how to build a nice natural lake. And I mean, I feel like I was pretty comfortable doing things like that already, but it was certainly an inspiration to put one in here right now. So we will... No Mercy says we should put in a megalith on this little bump. So let's do that. Let's go to our megalithic monuments, our standard vanilla standing stones, and we'll put one. You know what? Yeah, maybe we'll do two for variety's sake. And we will grab them with the props and just shrink them a touch. Maybe this one can be shrunk just a hair less. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So the villagers have put in a megalith. Let's make sure we connect that with a road, though, because if you've got a megalith, you got to have a way for people to get to it, so they can do their neolithic worshipping. Let's turn on our contour lines, see where the smoothest spot to bring this road over would be. Just kind of sneak through the trees here. I think that's pretty good. We don't want to get all the way to it because then it'll affect this terrain with the road node. But that's good enough for me. That'll get us there. Oh, it is. Look at it. It's a bit like woo. It's got a. I don't know if I like that too much. Maybe we can just reimagine a segment of that. All right, I think we'll take that. So we've got this cliff here, but let's also add a procedural objects rock because I love to throw those in. We want custom. We want to go all the way to these big honkin' rocks. No Mercy says the lumpiness of the road is part of the spiritual journey. Yeah, it is, buddy. We're getting spiritual here. Going up and down and up and down. Let's take this one. We'll convert it into PO. So now this is a procedural object. The color already pretty closely matches my theme, so I don't even have to worry about changing the color of these like I do with some of the stone assets. But if we put this here, now we can go to the edit. And the buttons here have changed ever so slightly since I last played. There was an update, but it's pretty straightforward. You've got local space and world space. We'll stick with local, and you've got the position, rotation, and scale just as these buttons for some reason. So that's slightly different than it was before. So we'll lower the position down, and maybe a little bit more this way, and a little bit more this way, maybe a little bit more down, and then we'll go to scale. We'll raise this sucker right up, and we'll rotate it and see if it looks better one way or another. That's a bit of a cut, like a sharp angle on a rock. I don't know if that makes total sense. I don't want a totally sharp angle of a rock. No corners on these rocks. There we go. We'll hide that corner in there, and then it comes out looking like this. We can go back to scale. We'll just pull this into this way, and we'll go to move, slide it in just a bit more. So it looks like, yeah, there were some fissures in the rock, and it just kind of cracked off and fell into the water. But that's more or less what I'm looking for. I could probably play around with this rock for hours to get it perfect, but you know what? If in doubt, just copy it and paste it and do another. And we can get the other side. And in fact, I think I might even like this side a lot for right here. We will edit it, lower it down, move it over here. Just a touch more. Oh, Valley is back for 12 minutes while on a layover. 493. Oh, I'm 7 away. I got 3 subscribers. I haven't seen new names here. I've seen Ryan. I don't know if Ryan had subscribed to me prior to this, but I know Ryan. So Ryan's not like a new person. But if you're watching this and you just subscribe, just say something in the live chat if you're able, and say hi so I know who you are. I really like knowing every single one of my subs, because everyone gets a building named after them in my other project, the Vanilla City. So here, I think, I didn't even overdo this. I just kind of dropped this in, and I think it looks great. It's got a little bit of a corner on this one, so maybe we'll just move that a touch. This guy. Whoops, let me undo that. I think we'll go with this face instead. I rather like this. Whoops, I want the green one. Lower that down into the ground. Move it this way. Oh, now we're cooking. Look at this. Rocks are so much fun to play with in PO. Oh, Stephanie is new. Stephanie Michaela. Stephanie, welcome. I'm really happy you're here. Thanks for making yourself known. I appreciate that. And I'm writing your name down now so I can make sure to, in my next vanilla, 100% vanilla city that I love as if it were my own child. I love that city so much. I will make sure you get a building in it. And I will never forget who you are, when I met you. Right now, meet you, quote unquote, meet you. But we'll say Stephanie. Gotcha. You're gonna get a building. In the meanwhile, enjoy this. Stephanie, had you been here when I did the tour? Do you need a tour of this place? Because otherwise you're just looking at a rock. It might not be that exciting. Let me know, and I'll, if you want to check out the whole map, I'll show you. All right. We don't have a whole lot of new people here today, so any new person's gonna get like VIP treatment. Love from North Wales. Oh, we got 2 Welsh people here. Valley Lad is also from Wales. He's in Cardiff. So there you go. The north and the south of Wales are represented in the live chat as we speak. Pretty epic. Pretty epic. Stephanie has been watching the previous episodes earlier today. Awesome. Thank you so much. If it's not too much of an inconvenience, leave a comment on any video you watch so I know you saw it, and then we can then I'll have a frame of reference for like what you've seen versus what you haven't, because I wouldn't expect anyone to watch binge watch my videos, but if you catch 1 or 2, let me know which ones they are so I kind of have an idea of what's going on. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Very, very fun when we get new people. The crowd here in the live chat is great. People I spend a lot of time with in the virtual world, in Cities Skylines world. So Grottles with the 9-hour live. One time I did a 9.5 hour live stream. I don't expect you to watch that, but if you do, you're not just getting something named for you. I'll put you on the honor roll. I'll name an entire city for you. Paleolithic Lisboa looks like modern Wales. Yeah, I can see what you mean there. It does look like this, but even outside of Lisboa, where I'm recording this from right now, I'm in the city of Lisboa, in the region outside of here. The landscape does look a lot like this, especially in the Alentejo, just to the south of the Tejo River. You get a lot of these like kind of lumpy plains that are lightly forested. It's really a cool landscape that's over here, and every time I pass through it, I'm just really taking note so I can try to do it myself when I'm here. No Mercy says, speaking of Wales, Oh, Stephanie says can't comment unless it's live as I watch it on my 65-inch TV. Ah, okay, I see. Oh, but you can comment during a live stream. All right, well that's cool to know. I actually didn't know that's how it worked. No Mercy says, speaking of whales, were there things like fogus or souterrains in Portugal? Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to think of a specific example, but I was just reading the a book by an author named Maria Candida Proença. It's called Uma História Concisa de Portugal, and it has a whole chapter on the Chalcolithic. And when I say whole chapter, it's like a solid 2 pages, very quick chapter. But there was a type of thing in there that I believe is a souterrain. I have to check the Portuguese translation. It's one of the first books I'm trying in Portugal. In Portuguese, rather, to read. So there's a lot of looking things up in the dictionary to make sure I'm understanding properly. But I'm pretty sure that those were going on. And you can look up some stuff. Dirty H does a nice Welsh village in his Europe series. Dirty H's series is awesome. His Welsh village is incredible. I loved. I'm pretty sure he did. It was Welsh that was that beach by the cliffs, right? He had a beach almost like this that was kind of rectangular. I think is what he was. Not exactly like this, of course, but this is a pretty close example that I just happen to have handy. And he had a peninsula coming off. He had the rocks with the arch. That was a great episode. Awesome builder, really great video maker and editor. Love Dirty H content. Maybe someday Dirty H will see my stuff and give me his perspective on things. But in the meanwhile, I'm just a huge fan. Huge fan. Let's get back to detailing the lake. I'm just spinning around now and talking. Sorry about that, everyone. Let's see. We were in filler. And we did a rock. I don't need a rock anymore. We could do some shrub clusters. I like to put these in the grass because they give a little bit of that texture above the grass. You know, sometimes you could do a bit of them, and then other times you can just kind of sparse them. But if they're by themselves, they look kind of scrawny. So I like to partner them with filler grass. And these shrubs here too are pretty nice. We're treating them like fruit-bearing bushes in the absence of an asset that's specifically that. Some wild fruit-bearing bushes. We could put some over here. I think that'll be a nice touch. And ooh, yeah, let's just keep going this way. Just a little bit of filler. But it'll be easy for me to like paint the entire ground with that, so we'll try to avoid doing that. I'll just plant these a little bit randomly. Oh, the Welsh people are getting it on in the chat. I love it. I love it. Yes, the castle in Cardiff that you showed me, Valley. Awesome spot. Grottles says, got go, shuka. Does that mean gotta go? Grottles? When you gotta go to Larry's Xucaboa Gotta Go Park. Everyone knows that. Stephanie, that's a joke from Larry Skylines, who may still be in the chat. I'm not totally sure, but a great creator. He made a custom asset for me as a joke, the Gotta Go Park. All right, Grottles, I will see you next time. Thanks for popping in, G Unit. And everyone, if you don't know, Grottles, Larry, Valley Lad Gaming, Ryan, who else we got here that's making Cities Skylines videos? I think for Ack Original, if he's still in the chat. Great builders, great channels worth subscribing to. All the channels of fellow content creators that subscribe to my channel, I feature prominently in my main page list. So if you're looking for someone new, you know, all of us have our own different styles. I've got 75 plus creators in my squad of friends here. Check some of them out, especially the ones that are here in the live chat are great. GPC by Tim is not Cities Skylines content, but he's doing gel pen creations, which are really relaxing and nice too. If that's something you ever are looking for to relax. But we'll just do some real quick filler work here with these. And then we'll go back to the shrubs cluster. Stephanie, I think you're in the right place. If micro detailing and small towns are your thing, that's you know, one day this might be a big city, but we are far from that yet. We are 8 small villages, and we're not even in a village right now. We're just detailing little lake. And I've got, you see, I've got this very small. I've got 25 assets in my filler, some of which I don't even really use. They were just for the map when I made it, like this. I don't use this too much now. I guess I could, but I tend not to because it's a little bit small, and I think these grasses do a better job. I've got this tree with 100 tries, which is awesome because it's got 100 tries, so you can plant a bazillion of them, and your GPS won't drop. Your FPS, rather. GPS. I was thinking a GPC by Tim right there. So, Portugal is Portugal in Welsh. Ooh, I didn't know that. But I do know, and this is going to come in handy for the both of you, Valley. I know you're leaving in a few minutes, but if you could hear this, and for Stephanie, we are in the Copper Age right now, but very soon, when we're in the Bronze Age, there will be Mediterranean peoples from Phoenicia and elsewhere that will go through the Strait of Gibraltar to the North Atlantic coasts of Europe, including Cornwall and Wales, where there were ample sources of tin, which was great for trading to make bronze with. So I know that there is a big Celtic connection too that will happen in the Iron Age between these North Atlantic areas versus the Mediterranean areas, and Portugal's kind of right in the cross of those Celtic and Mediterranean cultures. It's really a lot of fun. I'm super nerding out about when we get to that point, whenever that may be. But there's a lot of connection between Portugal and Wales. Landudno for the tin. I presume that's how you say it. I actually, my Welsh pronunciation is non-existent. So if I mispronounce that, then I'll be one of those people that says, "Oh, I don't know how to pronounce stuff." I'm actually usually pretty good at pronunciation. I just don't have any exposure to listening to Welsh people say it. So I hope I said that all right. But yeah, I've got this blue gum tree here. I've got 2 of them. They're really quite nice to blend it up. I think they're a little bit higher in the triangle count, in the poly count, so I don't pepper the whole area with them, but I'll sprinkle them in. They give a little bit of different shape and color to the scene. This one too is quite nice. The trunk is a bit lighter than the other ones. Lovely assets. This brown hillgrass I'm not going to use here, but maybe I can see if there's a spot over here. It's great, except it's really not that good on hills because you see it just kind of floats off the edge. So there's a time and place for these, but then I've got the shrubs that I said I'm using as low poly fruit bearing bushes. I've got the shrubs clusters. Weeds are good in like where I do the stone quarries. The field grass is a great asset. This is actually quite nice, and also I'm pretty sure it's low poly as well. Although it doesn't say right in the count, I forget off the top of my head. But this kind of blends in those floaty bits really nicely. And with just these handful of natural assets, I can fill most of this theme in really nicely. Joy is back. Welcome back, Joy. Joy Builds Cities, one of my favorite content creators, along with pretty much everyone else in the chat. If they've got a wrench, they're definitely Cities Skylines builder. But even if they don't, there are a lot of great channels, and people who I proudly call colleagues and friends. right? If this is our quote unquote job doing City Skyline stuff, then we absolutely are all working in the same office, hanging out, doing stuff together. It's a lot of fun. No wrench for Larry. Sorry, Larry. I was telling Tim before, you can't give a wrench to everybody. It's got to be. Otherwise, it seems like if the whole chat is just wrenches, then people think that there's no new people. They feel intimidated to come in. The wrenches are kind of scary, right? Ack is showing off his wrench though. You give someone an inch, right, and they take it just a little too far. Ack. Awesome, you found joy through me. Perfect. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Nothing as a YouTube type of person, who does this sort of thing, there is nothing as good as knowing how people that find you. So knowing that you found joy through me is awesome for both of us, really. And I hope you check out the other people too. So many of us. It's almost a full-time job just watching all the stuff we put out though. So don't feel like you have to watch every video that comes out, because there's a lot. We're a pretty prolific bunch here. Look at how this lake is just filling out now with these little grass. They just kind of hide that like sharp angle that pops out sometimes with this filler grass. Is this other filler grass, the field grass. Great clump. Larry, you can drop the hammer. I'll allow it. All right, we're just gonna keep doing this right around the edge. I don't want to put too many trees around here, he says as he puts a bazillion trees. But I mean, it's gonna look so nice. We did this lake because Ack had done a nice video about lakes. And so why not put in a lake? Who doesn't like a nice lake? So already, look at this place. Okay, we're not even done. We're just scratching the surface, because now we can get into some decal work. Maybe I'll put in a couple more clusters of shrubs for good measure. Oh yeah, that'll fill that out nicely. I don't know if I want this totally weeded in. We'll use some of this so people can walk here easily. Larry says there should be some wenches. We got wrenches and wenches. There might be some wenches in the medieval period for sure. I don't think that terminology was used before, and certainly not too much after the medieval times. But there will be some wench action going on, I'm sure. We'll get to it when we get to it. As for right now, we're just in a lake. No wenches. Yeah, we'll put one tree here and one tree here. Maybe one bushy tree right here. Beautiful. All right, that's enough of the trees, except this one. Maybe this one. Let's do decals. Like I said, I could just keep planting trees, which I don't want to do. So I think, no, I don't have a filler decal thing. We'll just go to decals, and I think we'll look at the river bed. Is pretty cool. I don't know if, so let's put on Anarchy. So these can go underwater, right? I had Anarchy turned off, which I didn't. I could have turned it on so I could get the grass even a little bit into the water, but I think it's fine. We could make it a little bit muddy over here, or do we want it to be rocky because we're by this? Do we want, people in the chat, do we want a soft muddy bottom lake, or do we want a pebbly rocky bottom lake? We do have a lot of rocks around here. Maybe that makes more sense. Tell me what you think. We've got the big decal for rocks right here. Let's see what it looks like underwater. See, it's got this nice speckly pattern. Joy says pebbles. Pebbles going once, going twice. We're sold on the pebbles. All right. Let's click onto decals. And because this is only so big, I would have to use a lot. But a little trick is that you could use the period and the comma to increase and decrease the size of most decals most of the time. So Stephanie says, if that's not a village meeting stone thing in Norse at the source of that stream, lake, I don't know what that is. Well, that's exactly what that is. That is, we've got the little one here, and then we've got the big ones over here. But these are absolutely designated megalithic areas put in by the people for the people, sort of thing, right? This is the idea. Is we're in the megalithic period. There's definitely going to be meeting stones. What they do there, we don't totally know. There's not a whole lot of evidence for some of them. Some of them it's a bit more clear, like stone circles have probably calendar or funerary purposes. Dolmens have funerary purposes, but when you just see like a stone, a megalithic stone hanging out, it might just be like people are like, yeah, that's a cool spot for a stone. As Joy would say, we're mysterious. So let's copy that again. And we'll just place a couple of them and then increase their size. The thing is, every time you copy and paste, it resets the size, which is just a little bit extra work for us. So we'll just sprinkle them around and then go to move it. I guess we already were in move it. But then we will try to make it make sense. How is this looking, people? I think our lake is starting to look really, really nice. So pebbly. Nice. I think everyone made the right choice. Joy, No Mercy, everyone else who said pebbles. Perfect. Perfect choice. Especially with all this, like, it's such a rocky area. It would be strange if it was just like a muddy bottom lake. But we can maybe mix in some mud too. Maybe having it all pebbles will look a little weird. Let's take a look. It's a bit speckly. Let's see just real quick what if we put in some of that riverbed decal. If we blend that in somehow. Now these are already huge riverbed decals, and I had used them already over here in the river, which gives it this nice underwater look. Just a little detail, because when I stop using it, it's really unimpressive, right? Where's Bam Bam? Stephanie, you're not showing your age with that. Bam Bam and Pebbles. I know all about that, and I'm a young guy, so I would consider you a young person as well. Don't worry about any Flintstones references dating you. You are in good company here. No matter what our age, we're all young at heart. Isn't that a nice thing to say? So let's see now if I can blend the mud. Will it look right or will it not? It's hard to say yet. Oop. Maybe we'll put the mud closer to here. Shrink it down. Bring it over here, because that's why this is sticking out. It's like this muddy little piece. I think that works. Wilma! Yeah, Larry, you know what it's about. Let's just increase the size of these. I think pebbles all over is still pretty good. Maybe we'll leave some spaces in between them so it looks... I don't know, I've never done decals on the bottom of a lake. Like with rivers, I can kind of guess a little better because they're moving. They're really... Larry says, if I use more of the pebbles but smaller. All right, Larry. For you, we'll do this. We'll just make 100 gazillion of these ones. Not falling for your tricks again, Larry. I know what you're up to. Taking advantage of my my sweet nature. So this right here is as big as this decal can get. I can't make it any bigger now. So it's pretty big. I think we'll leave it like that. Yeah, 1 cell is kind of the minimum. Larry says put smaller pebbles on top of the mud. Oh, okay. I thought you were trolling me again. What if I use this too? This is a slightly different one. Or no, it's not. It's the same. You were talking about the mud in here though. So what if I use the dirt instead of the riverbed mud? Kind of make it like a muddy shore on this side, which is why there's an abundance of trees growing there. Just kind of winging this, but I think it could be pretty sweet. Definitely going to get rocks underneath the rock, though. All the pebbles that break off. Thank you, Joy. Larry says the riverbed or any muddy dirt. Yeah, I've got a couple of dirty ones that aren't riverbed, like this one. Got this. Well, I just have to be careful because some of them have tire tracks in them for like farm field stuff. But even if they're like this one here, but even if they are underwater, like you won't really see that, so it could still work. Then of course I got the big brown pile, got the big orange pile. A lot of decals. Big dirt decal. Ooh, this is a nice transition. Those little pebbles on top of the riverbed mud. I like that. Okay, so we've got our lake. I think the last thing I want to detail is this corner here. No Mercy says, I think there a decal water stream in the workshop to at least sell the look. There is, and I have it. It's right here. Big decal water stream. So if I were to make this like if I wanted, because the water mechanics are terrible for tiny streams, I could just like fake it. But maybe not right here. I don't know. I'll think about that. That could work in a place where I want it to look more watery underwater, like over here. But these are, I mean, I can expand them again, like the other decals. I can make them bigger, but then it's pretty blue. But it does, if I were blending it right, it would come out nice, so it doesn't look like it's just water sitting on top of this fertile soil. Groddle says, all right, for real this time. Bye, guys. Groddles, I would say I'm disappointed in you, but I'm not. You have to record. That is totally fine. Recording takes a long time. Editing takes even longer. One of the nice things about doing this live is I don't have to record and edit. But I prefer to do that because I like having really, specific videos without me kind of meandering. Stephanie says, could you make a 1-cell moving stream, but move it with shore decals, bringing them closer together? Trying to imagine what you mean by that. Let me see. Like, I don't know. I'm nervous to play around with this because it might cause some flooding issues if I mess with the flow, but why not? Let's do it. Let's get into the terrain editor. Is this what you're talking about, Stephanie? I'm not totally sure if I'm understanding correct, but I think I am. You could also place vegetation at the edge of the water. That's true. With the filler. Like this. Right? And then it looks much smaller than it is. That is a possibility. over the sides of the stream, making it look narrower. Oh. Let me go back to my decals. I could do this. Just spitball. These are ideas, and I like them, Stephanie, and I guarantee I'm going to spend hours playing around with these ideas now, because I do really want my water to look good. But I'm afraid of experimenting too much in the live, because then I'll get so absorbed in trying it out that I won't really make a good video for anyone at the end of the day. I think most people will get too bored by the way I experiment with stuff. I'm a little bit like, look at this. What if I rotate it 10 degrees? And then I'll just keep going and going and going. So you see what I mean. But, and yeah, when Larry knows, when I say hours, I mean days. I often in Discord, in some of the groups I'm in, when I'm doing detailing projects like this, because I plant every tree individually to get the exact look I want, I put every rock, everything down. I don't have forest brush or anything like that. I do take days, and I'll just kind of do it in a Discord stream, because it's not really that entertaining for a YouTube live per se. But I'm starting to. It's becoming a little bit like that now. So I want to just wrap this up, this part, at least, because otherwise I'll just keep going, and then God help us all, I won't stop. So we'll fill all this in here. I could see this becoming like a real lush spot, but I gotta be careful not to overdo that too. Let's put in some small tree clusters. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. Look at that. Now this is a cluster I had used to use, and I'll let it stick around, but I hate it, because unlike the other low poly ones, this looks a little chunky. But it's 3 trees in one. This is one cluster here. Joy agrees. Hand placing trees is the way. Yeah. You know, hand planting trees, hand placing trees. You could make a religion out of this. I'll be honest. Like, everyone here comes to services, and we're just like, yeah. So then we put down a tree, and we all feel good. Everyone's like, yeah. Look at that tree. Speaking of trees, though, individual hand planted trees. Let's take a quick look at our single U. The vanilla U number 1. Beautiful tree. This one's for Valley Lad. He's not here to see it though, which is just the way I want it. I don't want him to even know that we planted this for him. Lovely tree. Look at that too. You can see it from space. What a tree. That's a solid tree right there. But let's look at this lake from space. This is awesome. I had no intention of putting in a lake, and I'm so glad we did. It is beautiful, says No Mercy. Beautiful. And I agree. I've got to be careful not to detail every single road we just put in, because that would easily take 12 hours. But I will want to eventually have every single thing detailed as much as possible. You can see over here I had done that with these paths when I was still laying out the original trees. I got a couple of olive trees naturally growing. They're not cultivated olives yet. Some grasses and things, and just following along. I love doing this. It is truly peaceful. Stephanie says, sexy tree. But wait, Stephanie, did your picture just change? I see 2 Stephanies with the same name, but they have different pictures in the chat. Did you just change your picture, or is there another Stephanie? Are there two of you? I think I know the answer, but you never know. You never know. It's like that Spider-Man gif where it's just they're pointing at each other. I'm the real Stephanie. No, I'm the real Stephanie. But oh yeah, sorry. No, don't be sorry. It's you don't have to be sorry for that. It's totally fine. I just I almost didn't notice, but I've got the way I'm watching the live chat while I play is I have my phone kind of right in front of my face. And I'm watching it on the phone, so I could see it in an even less delay than I would if I was using the streaming stuff. So I see that your picture just changed because it's right in front of my face. But it's still really small. I can't really see much about it, just that it's a different picture. No Mercy with the classic letter N, purple and white, representing since day one. Very nice. Stephanie is Spartacus. Ryan, when you stream, you use your iPad because you stream with a laptop. And you find that works well for you, right? I'm using my iPhone, but it's the same idea, I think, because I don't have two screens, so I have to figure out a way to play and see the chat, and that's my solution. All right, we've detailed the lake. We have connected the roads. While we are here, what's my time check? How long have I been going? A couple hours. Do we want anything else while we're here? I could also theoretically open up the Vanilla Baby if people are interested in that, but I think we'll stick with OXG. Two and a half hours, says Larry. Thank you for that. It's not too bad. Not too bad at all. I'll do another quick ask for anyone who is, if you're new here and you haven't said hello in the live chat, please do. I am so happy to see who's watching and meet new people who are into this sort of stuff, because we're a big community here of like-minded individuals that love to watch projects like these. And everyone has a say in how these, at least in mine, you all influence what happens. Today's major influence project was having a freaking lake here. No one expected a lake. Then all of a sudden there we were with this lovely lake. It's got the rock there and everything. Larry's got to go. See you later. See you later, Larry. Thanks for popping in. Ack is still here, loving all the vegetation. Yeah, man, it's just nice. It's nice. I could keep going, but then it's like opening a can of worms. You can't put the worms back in. I just have to keep making this entire forest. So I'm going to leave it at the water line over here. I wanted it a little bit less foresty than over here. Over here was already a pretty dense forest, so we just continued that down to the water's edge. Ooh, smartest thing I've done is to bring a bottle of water next to me while doing this, because I did not have any water when I did the 9.5 hour live stream. No Mercy literally saved my life. I was about to collapse of dehydration. Ryan is still here, but rarely talking. That's fine, Ryan. You don't have to chat a lot. I just like to know who's around so I could at least acknowledge you. No Mercy says, I feel like the pebble of textures have the added benefit of looking like caustic effects from the water. Very beautiful. Yeah, I agree. I think it just looks nice, and that little like bit of white speckling really looks more like it's more than just pebbles. It's a whole, you're getting a whole package with this decal, right? It's making the water look really nice. Joy is here but multitasking. Don't worry, Joy. Joy is one of the most accomplished multitaskers I've ever encountered in my entire life. She's always doing 100 things at once. It's remarkable, very impressive. Don't worry about it, Joy. Keep on chugging along. Do what you got to do. Stephanie, this was the first village. I don't know if you got to see that, but this was in the edited videos. If you've seen them, this is where I had been working. And we've got some fish drying racks. Our little people here, our prop people, tending to the fish. There's two people we know. That's Battle Cattle Danage right there, and that is Joy Build Cities. Both of them were in the opening video for that. And I think we have a little sunken ship right here. We also have a big one. I think I still left her on the dock with Valley Lad. Oh yeah, oversized sunken ship hanging out with wee little Valley Lad. Just a wee lad, a wee Valley Lad. But yeah, making those intros for those videos was a lot of fun, working with everyone, getting their voices in for the acting. I just love that. Here's something I've been thinking about. When I had made this map, I used the vanilla vegetation for this kind of like estuary, marshland type of area. And I've been wondering if I should replace it with the filler grass instead. Because, one, I think the filler grass is less tries and polys. No Mercy asks, is the sunken ship in the boat still there as well? Yes, she is. And Stephanie says, hadn't seen the fish drying racks though, you were doing the wheat fields. Yeah, so all that kind of happened around the same time. I didn't make too many videos about this project yet, so you don't have a whole lot to catch up if you haven't seen it. But here is sunken ship in her not so sunken ship. But it's funny because the boat prop floats and the person prop does not, so you'll see that the boat goes up and down and she just, sometimes she's floating a bit and sometimes she's totally smothered. Oh, I think Xuca's meowing at the door. Hold on a second. Xuca the cat is at the door. Stand by. Xuca. Hey, buddy. You want to go through again? Here you go. All right. Just had to let Xuca through. She heard me talking and she wanted my attention, so I had to give it to her. She's a nice cat. I still got baby Xuca on the screen, but let's do a quick Xuca cheese. This is Xuca having a smile for everyone. Funny cat. And of course we have the Xuca wave. We'll put in one more, because I haven't used either of those for this live yet. So we got the Xuca wave, the Xuca cheese, and the baby Xuca in the corner. Xuca the cat. For whom this channel and city and project and everything that I'm doing here is named. Xuca is the name of my cat, and we live in Lisboa, Portugal, so this is Xucaboa. Ryan says, I am working on the new neighborhood that I built in Santa Clara. Ooh, do you have a video for that out yet? Because I want to check that out when I get a chance. Although I admit, after tonight's live stream, I'm probably going to want to rest my eyes from the screen for the rest of the evening, and I'll continue watching videos tomorrow. So let me see. Did anyone want any other projects while we're here? I don't think I saw anything. I didn't want to, like, if I do anything more, it'll be a lot. But we could put in a copper mine. Would anyone like to see a copper mine? That's like the one thing I think we could squeeze in to this live stream that we haven't done yet. And I've got some places in mind, but I haven't picked one. Ack is happy, got a lake. No Mercy says yes, a mine would be fun. So Ack is content. No Mercy is ambitious. Almost like some characters I've seen in some games. Maybe diligent. Maybe we'll say a mine would be diligent. Anyway, I think we could do a mine. I was thinking, because of some of the copper mines in Portugal, I saw that there were some in the south of Portugal, and then there were some inland of Lisbon. So for, like, I don't know if the south of this peninsula, this being the south side and this is the north, I mean, we don't have to follow the geographic history too well. Stephanie's got to go, having an early night. Stephanie, it was a pleasure to have you here. Really nice to make your acquaintance and welcome you to the crew here. I hope to see you again soon. But otherwise, have a good night and take it easy. Welcome to Xucaboa. Ryan's cat is sitting on. Aw. Shuka's not sitting on me right now. Okay, so let's do this mine fast. I'm thinking like on this side maybe, because I don't want to get too far away. I definitely don't want to be on like these cliffs overlooking the ocean. That's a really inconvenient place to mine. We could do over on this side too, but it's a bit forested, right? Whereas over here, I mean, I guess over here is also pretty forested. But the way we put this road in, it's pretty close here. I'm just going to go with here. Any objections? I'll give you a 30-second window for objections while we look at this. Otherwise, I'm going to make a mine right here. I said 30-second window, but I'm just going to start building a road right now. Okay, so like we'll go right up into this area over here, because it wants to go that way, right? Look at the terrain here. It's like whoop. So I think if we go in there, maybe here, but if I remember correctly, that's pretty forested and this is less. So this is the obvious choice. And of course, I turned anarchy on, so now I got all the trees again. Ay caramba, that's fine. I'll clear them out later. Ooh, that's bright. So let's just work our way right up in there. We'll do a little bit of a switchy here to get to this spot. This will be our copper mine location, and we're going to go right into the mountain. So we'll take a little bit of terrain brush to kind of make this an area. I think I'll make that a little stronger. There, so now it'll look like we're going into a mine, more or less. And I think we can put some, whoa, what happened there? Natural resources. Let's look up some rocks again. Joy Build City is out. Thanks for popping back again, Joy. Probably be done if you decide to check in again, but I'm glad you were here. Always a pleasure to have you. Always, always, always. Okay. Rock. I don't want vanilla rock. What happened to my... There we go. Now, some of these rocks you can't turn into procedural objects. I believe this is one. It'll just be invisible. That has to do with their terrain conforming. So I did just put that down. Go into procedural objects and delete it. And delete it. I put down 2 accidentally. Ooh, a bison. Love a good bison. If we go to these other rocks here, I know these are PO. because I've played around with them. So we've got a rock like this. We can convert. Oh, this one was not. I was wrong. Deleted. I should make a separate list for which ones are PO, so I don't always have to guess. But we can use some of the ones we've already used, like this. This is kind of similar to what we used at the lake, but if we pop this down, edit, slide it on down, and then maybe just a little bit in there. And we can copy that, do it again. See what we get. All right, edit, 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 move, slide it in. I've got kind of this little thing. Let's scale that up just a touch. Oh no, let's scale that way just a touch, and then we can move it in. That's a little bit better. Now we talking. And you see this fissure right here? That's going to be the opening for our mine. Because why not? This is not going to be a functioning mine. This is all aesthetic. We're going to have to kind of improvise an opening. Not type improvise. What did I want? Let's see if any of the megaliths work. Xuca. What's the matter? Come here, Xuca. Xuca's in the house, and she is meowing. Can you hear Xuca if she meows? Oh, Valley Lad's back. Welcome back. If we do this and just get it, it's going to be a little bit tricky to make it look really great, but we'll do our best. In this age, the crushing and smelting of the ore would probably be right next to the mine, wouldn't it? So maybe you could Frankenstein together some small kilns or similar outside to insinuate that. That's a good point, No Mercy. I was thinking of doing that too, because that's an important part of when I'm playing Dawn of Man. I gotta take care of the copper smelting. But this is a little bit far away. We might even end up making a new village or residential area here to accommodate those people doing the smelting, or some kind of commercial industrial area where they smelt and then trade it down the road. So maybe we'll get to that, but for right now we'll just do the mine. Raid Kitty is just popping in real quick. Hello, goodbye. Aw, Raid Kitty, you're missing some Xuca the cat action. She's meowing right now, and I can't stop her. Xuca. See, I just wish this was not terrain conforming. Then I could really get it the way I want it to be. But it's pretty close. We'll leave it like that. That'll be our mine entrance. And at this time in history, mining is going to consist of people using basic stone tools to like dig into the ground by hand. Very labor-intensive process that would take a long time, for sure. So not super efficient, but copper was extremely valuable. So we'll call this the copper mine. Maybe we'll just detail it a tiny bit for now. I'm not going to over-engineer it. It's just kind of a place where we know that people get copper. But it's not a megalithic monument, despite the presence of this megalith. That is to represent the opening, I guess. Since we can't really do a better job. Where was that that decal too? It's been like a month since I played this, so I forget every little trick I have. No Mercy says probably even antler pickaxes if there are animals with antlers around. In this map, I've only seen bison and cougars. Maybe they're using bison horns. Or certainly bison bones for tools too. Let's see, rock. I think there's a black rock decal, which could look good. Nah, it doesn't really blend that well, but let's see if we could change the color of it. Make it a little cooler. Oops, I had unselected. Close. I feel like we're right on the cusp. And what if I grab this, change this color to match this a little bit better? Still a little gray. Almost. All right. Close enough. Yeah, that didn't really do too much for making that look better, but we'll leave it. We won't do it. We'll just do some filler stuff now, including but not limited to small tree clusters. Grass clusters, filler grass. No Mercy says, could you put an actual rock into the entrance and color it really black to make it look like a dark tunnel? Valley Lad says, sorry, Shuka, gotta go again. Right, take care, bud. All right, Valley, don't worry about it. Thanks for popping in every chance you can with your layovers. I appreciate it, man. Let's try that, No Mercy. Let's do a vanilla rock, perhaps. One of these suckers. Can we color it super dark and move it here and then change its characteristics? It's terrain conforming, so this is as good as I can get with the size. Not too much. Maybe if we use one of those bigger ones. You know what? It's so hard knowing which rocks are which. I'm talking about this guy. Can we do this? What? Where are they? All right, the rocks have gone crazy. We're just gonna not deal with them. Something's weird with my vanilla rocks right now that or boulders that they're not showing. But these little ones are. And if we put that black one right there, maybe. I mean, I see what you're saying, No Mercy, and I like it. I want it to work. I just don't know if it can. Actually, that kind of works. Look at that. Look at that. No Mercy, I think that works. Oh, I see your comment now. I guess you could you could just use a PO and adjust its shape to fit the entrance. Yeah, I could. But I like the rock. I thought that was a cute solution. Let's see with a procedural object if we can just do a plane, perhaps. Oops, have I forgotten what in the hell I'm doing? Come on, man. Local textures, do I have a black? It's kind of stony. We could change the color on that. It'll hide it. And then we'll edit this, do a little bit of the rotation to get it on this green, making it a vertical thing. Then we will move it up, move it in, move it down. We can scale it these ways, move it again just a touch here, touch down. Yeah, this kind of works. Let's change the color right here to solid black. Maybe. No, I think it'll have to be solid black. I don't know. What do we think, No Mercy? Do we like the black stone, making it like a little hole, or do we like the just the PO abyss. Like, you just go into the purest black, darkest possible place ever. I don't know. It does work. From a distance it works. It checks out. It's your idea, so I'll let you make the final call, No Mercy. While I'm at it, let me just edit that a tiny bit. Here we go. That's a little bit better. No Mercy says I would probably go for the Blackstone. Looks a bit more like a natural hole. Yeah, this looks really man-made, and I mean the hole is going to be man-made one way or the other, but they don't have like huge stone boring type of tools, so they'll go into a little hole and crawl in on their hands and knees and do that. All right, we'll leave the Blackstone. Perfect. It's fine by me. Look at that. And that will be our copper. We don't need a copper mine everywhere. I don't even think we should have a lot, because in Lisbon there weren't it wasn't the copper spot. There were other copper places in Portugal. But yeah, with that, I think I'm ready to call it a night for this video. Unless people are going to peer pressure me into doing stuff I shouldn't do. But yeah, we happy with this? I'm happy. I'm happy with the lake. I'm happy with the roads. I think OXG is ready to advance into the Bronze Age. Maybe before we get to there, I'll add a little bit of smelting stuff, but I could also do that with the Bronze Age. Like these, as historically significantly different they are, archaeologically speaking, these eras, as far as making this project, it's not going to change too much just yet for what we're doing. Like the houses are going to remain pretty much the same. The roads are going to remain pretty much the same. Only when we get to the Iron Age will we see structural changes in a big way. The Bronze Age, we could start introducing a few more things, but not too much. Maybe increase the population of some areas before some kind of Bronze Age collapse. Yeah, I know you'd do that, No Mercy. So I see the chat is starting to dwindle anyway. Let's call it a night, everyone. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to say thank you for watching OXG, Oxucapografia. It has been a pleasure as always. I'm going to save the game right now as OXG live number 2. And we'll call this Roads, just so we don't forget what that means. We're going to hit save and pray to the gods of the Steam cloud that everything works right, and it has. Thank you, Ak, for watching. I appreciate you being here, man, especially after the marathon last night, too. So, everyone, have a good night. Get some rest. Drink some water if you haven't been doing that while watching this. And I'll see you next time. Have a good night.